Hi guys, it's Nikki Hancock. I wanted to make a update video now that the new stimulus bill was actually signed and passed through for small businesses and self-employed people, just kind of an update and overview on financially what your options are now. Anyone that's followed along since March, when we first got shut down for 2 weeks, supposedly, you're already going to be familiar with some of these terms. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. But the new stimulus bill added more money to the EIDL and the PPP loan programs. So if you applied and got denied for these, there's a new chance now to get it. And there's some other things that have been added or changed. So I'll just dive right in. For those of you, the EIDL is the one I'm more familiar with because it's the one I was able to get. And most of the people that I helped fill out applications and kind of navigate the system got those. If you remember, the problem with the EIDL is that the government promised that any small business owner, self-employed person who applied for it would automatically get $10,000 as a grant that didn't have to be paid back. And so we all applied for that, and then everybody got $1,000 instead of $10,000, if they even got anything at all. Or some people got $1,000 per employee, which still, if you have a bunch of employees, that was nothing, and it was not what was promised. So there was a lot of people angry. There was talk of lawsuits and stuff, but I mean, in the end, there was no money. So there was nothing we could do about it. So most the people I worked with did get that $3,000. It's tax free and it just showed up in their bank account. But they didn't get the remaining $9,000 that they were promised. But we did also get a loan offer, which some people took and some people didn't. It was a very small loan. It was meant to get you through 2 months, 10 months ago. But the rates were decent and stuff. So a lot of people did take that. Now, they've added a bunch of money to that program, and here's how it's going to work, we think. So I'm basing this off of what all the financial experts are saying, but the actual regulations haven't been completely put out there yet. This program won't open until January 17th, so you have another week-ish. If you already applied for that $10,000 grant and you only got $1,000, supposedly, as long as you still qualify for it, you will now get the balance of what you weren't given. Free money, not taxable. Now, the issue or the caveat to this is they've changed the rules of who qualifies for that now. So now a lot of people are not going to qualify it because they're directing this money towards impoverished areas, so people that live below the poverty line and Black-owned businesses. So what I'm being told and directed is that even if you're not sure if you live in an impoverished area or you're on the borderline, still apply anyway if you have never applied before. If you already applied, they're saying don't do anything. So if you were in the first round back in the spring and you only got the $1,000, they're saying don't do anything at all, that the SBA will contact you because they already have your info. So in the meantime, I checked for my own knowledge to see if, like the Colusa area, the Willows area, if we qualify as a low poverty or a low income poverty area, and we do. There's two different guidelines on that. It's a 20% or above poverty level, which neither Colusa or Willows is at, although Willows is at 19.7% poverty level, I think, so it's right there on the border. However, the median household income is the other determining factor, and both Colusa and Willows are in the poverty level on that. We're less than 80% of the state median. So we're both at about 66%. So in the description below, I'm going to link the website. You can click and type in your city, and then you can find the median income and you can find the poverty level percentage, and it'll give you kind of an idea. So that's for if you have never applied for this. I'm saying apply anyway. A lot of people slipped through the cracks last time, so I'm guessing that might happen this time too. If you're a business owner or a self-employed person or a gig worker and you are still struggling, like most people are, just apply. It doesn't hurt. Nothing happens if you don't get it. You just don't get it. And if you do, the grant money is not taxed. It's just free money. And you don't have to like justify how you spend it or anything. You can use that however you need to. If you get the loan offer, that you do have to use for business expenses and things like that. So the one requirement to apply for this is that you live in an impoverished area. And the other requirement is you have to show 30% loss during like the pandemic. So you'll supposedly have to show, you know, proof that your business lost at least 30% of its revenue, which I think all of us have lost much more than that. So that shouldn't be difficult for you. This doesn't open up till the 17th. If you already applied along with me back in the spring, right now they're saying just don't do anything at all, and the SBA will contact you. That may change over the next week. We might get different direction that we do have paperwork or whatever. I will let you know. I promise to keep you posted if anything changes. If you never did apply for this in the first place, go ahead and apply. I encourage you to apply this round. You won't be able to apply until January 17th when it opens back up. And then the SBA will have 21 days to make a decision whether they want to give you a grant, a loan, both. And then they have to actually tell you this time if they deny you why, which didn't happen last time. So the thought process with that is that if they give you the reasoning, then you may actually be able to fight it. So that's the deal with the EID. I'm kind of hopeful that some of us that applied for this will actually get the rest of that grant that we weren't given the first time. But if anything I've learned this year is just don't count on anything. You know, hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Now, as far as the PPP loan, I'm not as familiar with this because I didn't get it. It was super weird. Most of the people that I worked with, we applied immediately the day it opened, and then they ran out of funding. But the truth is they never actually ran out of funding. The PPP loans were targeted for large companies, the first round. So it really screwed. I mean, that's where a lot of us were getting angry because we were seeing like Gavin Newsom took out, I think it was $30 million for one of his wineries that he obviously didn't need because it never even shut down this year. But that's a whole other tangent, but it just shows why that first round of PPP loans, like a lot of us, everybody I worked with except for one person got denied and didn't even get that loan. And that was supposed to be the one that you don't pay back. It's forgivable as long as you're using it for regular business expenses you need. So that whole deal is kind of BS. They're saying sorry about that. This time they're targeting small businesses and self-employed people. They're saying, you know, like Uber drivers and barbers and small restaurants, that's who they want to get these funds this time. They took $60 billion and allocated it just to people that applied the first time and didn't get it, supposedly. And they're prioritizing the smaller loans this time. The way it was explained to me is that the first time they prioritized all the bigger loans because they got more interest back on the ones that do get paid back. Now, most of them are forgivable anyway, so that was a really crappy way of doing it. They've changed the rules a little. It used to be under 500 employees. Now they're saying under 300 employees, which to me doesn't still qualify you as a small business. This should be like 50 employees or less if you ask me, but it doesn't. My opinion doesn't matter. We know the system is really messed up and not necessarily set up in a way to actually help the people that have been hurt by this, but my opinion stays the same, which is apply for everything, dig in and get everything you can, because here we are 10 months later, and I know like my industry isn't open back up. So, you know, in the events industry, my friends are all in the events industry have been out, you know, getting new jobs and changing careers. So if you're in the restaurant industry, the beauty industry, the events industry, the rideshare industry, any of these businesses where you've been just direly affected, apply. All you have to show for the PPP loan is a 25% decrease for any quarter of the year of this last year. And then the max loan you can get is $2 million, but I'm not working with any small businesses that have $2 million as their 2-month payroll, because it's the average payroll of like your 2.5 month average that you get in a loan amount. So the PPP loan actually opened up yesterday for people that didn't get it last time, and then it opens up again tomorrow for people that did get it last time that need more funds, if hopefully I understand that correctly. And the best way to do it is to go through like your local bank or whoever you applied through the first time. The bank that I used that I applied through the first time isn't doing this round, so I have to start over with everything. But I'm still gonna do it anyway because I'm sitting here kind of worried about what the future holds this year, as a lot of you are. I'm gonna put a link in the description below of a website that you can apply for that one through. And it's through like a YouTuber that I follow and I like, another small business owner who does, I think he may get like a referral bonus or something for it, but I don't care as long as the process is easy, and it is. So there'll be a link you can click there to fill out, and then they will contact you and tell you whatever paperwork they need to go through with that process. So that's it. That's all we really know right now. The EIDL loan and grant program added a bunch of money to it. Supposedly, if you applied before, you're gonna get. So supposedly there'll be some money added automatically. And if you didn't apply before, apply now, because we don't know how long this is gonna last. We're on our third major shutdown. We don't know how many more there will be in the future. Hopefully this will all be over soon, or what I would love to see is people just opening up regardless. That's my personal opinion, but for those that are too afraid to open, or that are in industries like mine where I'm at everyone else's mercy, I have no say in it whatsoever, apply for these loans, apply for the grants, do what you can. If you have any questions, hit me up, and if I can answer it, I will. This time around is a little more difficult because they haven't really told us exactly how it's going to work, but this is what we know so far. So best of luck to everyone. I hope everyone's hanging in there okay, and as we go into a new year, that things will be better and more positive for all of us.